Okay, third video. Get you up to date on what's going on here. It's working outside today until we got a front moving in. It's supposed to be raining and all this crap to come tomorrow. But let me catch you up. You can see I put braces on the side. I do have some unique ways to hold them down, but I am going to do some welding, and I'm going to trim all this off. The brace on the bottom area is to help tie all that in. That protects the brake disc and the sprocket down there. I started removed the fenders and the protection all around that. It's a good system. They did a pretty good system on this, the way Murray did it and all. I want to take the motor off for now, and I want to clean all this up. I want to check these bearings out, get all this grease and crap off this. I started going through here and replacing some bolts and stuff. This one I'm going to leave bolted up, not welded, because this, I got to remove this to get to the motor, stuff like that. On top, you remember I bent that roll bar and I made a mistake right there. Well, I did this piece on top. I tie it into that back piece like that, and I strap it over, and I use that to pull it up. That strengthens that, and so I have two pieces of metal cut down here, and they're marked for the top. Top right there, and top right there. That's a cross brace. This one is going diagonal across here, and the other one is going to go at an angle. The reason is the triangulation. These I have trimmed up, and I have this big open space right there, and it ties it all in. This thing used to be really noisy and creak and made a horrible amount of noise when riding it. My little cross piece up here, I've got a small piece to go in the middle, and I'm going to weld all that in, and that'll triangulate all that up. Brace the steering brace, and brace that the thing that holds the steering column right there. I worked on my pedals right here. I got some tubing clamps right there. Redone all the nuts and bolts right down here. Got washers in between all of it to give it, some strength. These nylon lock nuts right there, and that way that's all set up to where it won't fall apart. And you notice that I got the nut ends on this end. Everything that's going to cut you or hurt you is out of the way here. And I'll be grinding all these areas down after I weld them. And to clean it up, I got a U-bolt I put on this front to help wrap it around that. I'll weld all that in, trim all that off. This is a pretty well built go-kart. I'm just kind of over-engineering it myself. This is the torque converter system up here, and if I can't get this motor to work, I may try one of them Harbor Freight motors, and because it bolts on underneath the clutch right here. You got to take the clutch off, slide all that out, and get to this system right here. It's a good system, and it works pretty well. I've took a lot of the stuff off here. I'm going to take degreaser and clean all this thing up. I got a lot of welding to do. I'll do that next week. And I'm going to be taking the old grinder and knocking a lot of these ends off. Anywhere that is near the driver, I got to smooth it up. Here's all the seats. This thing, I was able to get the foam out of it, and it has a zipper on the back of it. Now, this fits on the back. You can see there's a zipper. The foam literally just fell apart. Went down to a cloth store and bought a section of foam that I'm going to trim and put in there. This is the original seat. I came up with an idea, but it was a little bit too late. Here's the original frame. It's in good shape. I just need to paint it Rust-Oleum, clean it up. On this go-kart I done over here, I could have used, this is a boat seat that I put on this one, and you can fold it up or fold it down, and it works really good on that. I could have done that on that, now that I think about it, but this is around $40 to $60 for that, Whereas the foam and stuff that I got and the UV resistant cloth that I picked up for around 20 bucks. I'm going to take this cushion, I'm going to trim a section out of it, get me a new piece of plywood, measured up to this seat, and then I'm going to just build a seat out of that. I'm going to take, measure the bolts, and so I can attach it to that frame. I was looking at the headrest that fits right up here, and it's in pretty sad shape. I mean, it looks good, but on the back side, look at all this rot and stuff like that. So I got to come up with another headrest on that. And you can see that where I painted it, the Rust-Oleum paint, that works real good on that. Now I'm going to clean all the plastic up. I may paint it the same color as this. I'm working on some ideas on what to paint this thing. Lime green to be the base is what I'm working on right now. But you can see this is not a bad idea working out. I mean, it's going to be a lot quieter, it's going to be a lot stronger, so it should last a lot longer too. I just hope I can work the motor problems out. I got the carburetor on order. It's going to get rid of this old carburetor that's on here. This carburetor that's on here, the idle don't work no more. I mean, and there's no adjustment for air-fuel ratio. Two very bad problems with that. The Tecumseh's not a bad motor. Any overhead cam motor is not a bad motor. But the problem with the Harbor Freight motors is that they got a metal fuel tank. And today's fuel does not keep stuff from rusting, and I've had problems with the Harbor Freight motors. They will rust the fuel tank up, and then that will deposit in this fuel bowl right here and clog it up. If you use to get a brand new motor and coat the inside with that, there's a sealant to seal that gas tank up with. That's not a bad idea, but the plastic tank's even better. And I don't know, I'm looking at ideas on this. If I can get this going, I'll save some money that way. But next week I'm going to be welding up all this stuff up. Here's another angle looking at that top piece. So I was trying to straighten this out, and I just ended up bending it. It just didn't help it out. But I want the roll cage bit. And you can see on the front piece how it's going to triangulate when I get it all welded together. But after I weld it, I'm going to take the car wash and knock all this stuff off. Got to get that motor off. Take an angle grinder and knock them long U-bolts off right there. But I got a rolling chassis, and I'm going to go at it from there. But when I get done, it should be designed to where it'll last a lifetime and won't fall apart like it did before. It's fallen apart on me a couple times. It's not a bad original design, it just needed upgrading. That one middle piece bar that goes through there was not tied in too well to the frame, and made a lot of noise, and I had to just come up with some ideas to tie it in and stuff. I'm just using metal and crap that I got laying around, and not spending a whole great deal of money, but I want to do this up right, and that way I don't have to work on it every daggum year. But yeah, they put a huge chain. I normally use 41s on the go-karts and stuff that I always build, and that's bigger than a 41. It's got to be in the 50s or so. That's almost a motorcycle style chain. But that's good. I like building them where they last. And so I'm going to clean it up real well after this. Like I said, we're going to weld on it next week. And I got to get that motor off. Weather's starting to go bad. Get the seat worked on, and then I'm going to paint it. Lime green is going to be the base, and I got to figure out something. I'm working on kind of an animal skin or something. But that's where we're at right now. This is video 3. These are not bad go-karts. I mean, it's adult sized, which is I like. And it should be fairly easy to get in and out of. But there's some good things that I've done to this, and you guys out there, if y'all want to do one up, you could do one up that way. But if your roll cage breaks off, then you could do the things that I did to fix it back on. And but that's where we're at right now. So next one hopefully it'll be after maybe I get it welded and all that stuff. Alrighty, later.